Good morning. Thanks for joining us today. Sometimes when we talk to folks from a denominational background, they'll say things, you Church of Christ folks, you all believe that you're the only ones who are going to be saved. In denominations, what they try to do is they try to be more inclusive. They want to include all the denominations, just saying that it doesn't really matter where you go to church. And they think that we believe as long as you come through the doors of our church building, we believe that all those folks are going to be saved. I would suggest that it's actually more exclusive than that. I want you to think about Jesus cleansing the temple and the Lord cleansing the temple. When he does that, and he actually does it 2 times, and remember, he says, "You shall not make my Father's house into a den of thieves." To paraphrase it a little bit, that's a quotation from Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah 7. But when you go back and read the Jeremiah passage, in Jeremiah, the Lord says, "Remember what I did to Israel in Shiloh." So I want you to think about 3 or 4 verses, and we don't have time to read them all. But begin in Shiloh, and that's 1 Samuel chapter 2. And that's the account where you have the priest, you have the high priest Eli, and you had his worthless sons, and they were absolutely corrupting worship, is what they were doing. They were corrupting worship. And what ends up happening is Israel, they fall to the Philistines. The Philistines defeat Israel. The Lord removes his protection from them, and the Ark of the Covenant is stolen away. It is captured, and it is taken away. Effectively, the temple wasn't built yet, but they had the tabernacle. The Lord cleansed the house of the Lord, is what he did, as the ark was taken away and as the priests were killed. Then you come up to Jeremiah, and you have Israel, once again, corrupting worship. And what happens? They're marched off into captivity and effectively cleansing the temple, and the temple was destroyed first time. Then you have the account in Matthew, the account in the Gospels where Jesus cleansed the temple. Jesus actually cleansed the temple twice. He did it at the beginning of his ministry, according to John, and he does it at the end of his ministry, before he goes to the cross. But what I want you to consider is that he is going to cleanse his kingdom again. He cleansed it in 1 Samuel 2, he cleansed it in Jeremiah 7, and he cleansed it actually 2 times in the Gospel. But he's going to cleanse his house once again. Matthew 13, it's in the explanation of the parable of the wheat and the tares. In Matthew 13 at verse 41, he says, "The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and those who practice lawlessness, and will cast them into the furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth." You need to read the whole parable and the whole explanation to understand what's going on. But my point is, denominations think that we need to be more inclusive. Actually, it's even more exclusive than most people think. The Lord is going to cleanse his house again. Now, until that time, the wheat is going to grow with the tares, and there's going to be a lot of hypocrites. There's a lot of hypocrites, frankly, in the house of the Lord. But the Lord is going to take care of it in the sweet by and by. He's going to cleanse his house again. That's how exclusive salvation is going to be, and we need to be preparing for it. Hope you enjoyed this study. God bless you. Be a blessing to others. Hope to see you Monday morning.